Welcome to my vlog. Welcome to my vlog. See, get it? Before I had the gray beard, now I've got the black beard. You know, it's the good guy and the evil guy. You'll get it.
Oh yeah, welcome to Shadow Bomb's vlog. It's a party up in here. Party all day, party all night. Come on, join the fun. Subscribe. Show 'em what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? With the welcome to my vlog thing with the I should have done the evil laugh. I should have done. See, now it makes sense. Hello everyone. Well, today I'm working on a new project. Something still to do with the vampire killing kits, but also other things too. So I thought I'd show you while I build it. Wow, yeah, I'm not beating that dead horse. You can see, maybe one of you guys can use it for something. What I'm building is a crossbow, a small crossbow. Yeah. Oh, like that's not going to end in disaster. And the measurements are constrained to the size of the kit, so it's kind of small, going to be a little small. Now remember people, it's not the size of your crossbow. Oh, I'm not even going to go there. I'm building the majority of it out of red oak, including the bow. I did some research online, and a lot of people have been able to make bows out of red oak, but mine's a little short because of the time, because of the size constraints. And my total lack of ability. So I'm a little nervous about that, but we'll see. So my bow is going to be about a foot, and I'm going to have it so the bow can be removed from the stock so that it can fit easily in the kit. So what I did first is I shaved down a piece of red oak. So I'll show you that here. And you can see here how I took it and sliced down to, this is this piece I'm going to use right here. This one's a little too thin. I don't need it to be that thin because that would break too easily. So this is the spare piece. Who knows, I might wind up using that if the other one doesn't work. Ooh, spoiler alert! The bow you're about to see didn't quite work. But don't get all panicky. A few minor adjustments and everything came out fine in the end. But just thought I'd give you a little warning. But, and then here is the piece that I cut. Now if you notice as well, I also cut this on an angle here, and here. And the reason for that is because it's going to sit up against the stock like this, and I want this to be flush with the top of the stock. So that's where the string's going to go. And of course this will bend. Okay, so that's what I've got so far with that. Now I also cut another piece to give it a little strength. Okay, so all this stuff actually worked, the theory. It was just that bow was a little too short and too thick. So go figure. Size really does matter. And this is also red oak. And I cut it so that it was, a decent size, fit in the center. So as you see, it sort of sit like that and give it a little more strength. So this part, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wood glue these together and clamp it and let it get really, really hard. And then this part here will go up against the stock. So the stock will be here. And then I've got 3 other pieces of red oak, and I'm going to show you that. God, I love my camera work. Feeling nauseous yet? Right here. And I drew a pattern here. I don't know if you can see it, but I drew a pattern here of basically how the shape's going to go. So it's going to be a simple, handheld pistol. I'm going to cut another piece of wood that's going to be a long, elongated trigger that you sort of grab with your all fingers and pull like this to release it. Now the reason I'm doing that is because it's sort of, it's in the style of a 16th century bow. And I want it to look old. I know my kits are about 19th century, so 1800s, but this will be fine, and it's a nice simple trigger mechanism, and simple is good. So anyway, I'm going to have 3 layers of this. I'm going to have one on the outside, one on the other outside, and then one in the center, and have the center one cut away so that I can have the trigger mechanism in there, but I'll show you that as I get to it. So anyway, that's where I am so far. So I'll show you a little more as I get moving along. Ooh, new game. How many times do I say trigger mechanism in this video? And the person who gets it right obviously has way too much time on their hands. And that's really its own reward, isn't it? Okay, so I epoxied it. I hate working with epoxy. It always seems to be more of a mess and a hassle than it needs to be. But I used the Gorilla Glue epoxy because they told me that that would actually be the strongest even for wood on wood, more so than the Gorilla Glue wood glue. So I need to keep this clamped for, it says 5 minutes, and then it takes 24 hours to cure. So ain't no cure for me, baby. Alright, that was pathetic. That was really bad. I'm sorry, that was just, that. Alright, back to the video. So I won't be able to do anything else with this for another 24 hours, but at least I'll be able to take the clamp off in 5 minutes and make sure it should be fairly secure at that point. And then I'll start working on the stock. Okay, so I got the first part of the stock cut. I'll show you that. Not very pretty right now, but basically, like I said, I'm doing it in the style of the 16th century, just shrunken down, so it's more of a pistol. Okay, wait. A couple things have to be said here. Number one, I rock in those safety goggles. I mean, it almost looks like I know what I'm doing. Okay, aside from that, I mentioned I was doing it in the style of the 16th century. Okay, that was just sort of said, sort of, with this. Don't go to the library, look it up, and say, oh, they had straight handles, you had a curve handle, or whatever the hell you find. Just go with it. Go with the flow. But it's, you know, with the stock where you're holding it a little more straight than an actual today's pistol. It's like this. And then there's going to be 2 of these, and then in the center will be the trigger and the base of the stock. So the trigger will be here, and it'll basically be an elongated coming down like this. So you just kind of hold it like this, and then boom, squeeze it for the trigger. And this I'll be using for the pivot and the trigger, and to hold this string, the rope. So I'll be like, I'm going to trim that down, cut it like here, so it's thick enough, but I don't know. Still working on it, we'll see. Okay, I just finished cutting the second piece of the stock. So we've got that here. So we've got the 2 pieces of the stock, and they actually came out pretty good. Well, I'm having trouble holding them, but they're actually came out pretty close. Of course, I'll have to do some sanding and all. Now, they'll have another piece, the trigger mechanism, and another piece there that'll put it there, so it'll be this wide when everything's done. I've got the trigger mechanism in it and all. It'll be about that wide. So I still have to do the center piece and cut out the pieces for the trigger mechanism and all that. But so far, so good. Keep my fingers crossed. Okay, well, I had my first disaster. Drilling out these guys. One went okay. The other one wound up drilling a little too far. As you can see here, it started sticking through that end, so this is too weak. Yeah, that's a skilled craftsman at work right there. So I had to cut another one. And I don't mind doing something once, but I hate doing it twice. 'Cause, you know, I'm lazy. But here it is. And I did drill that out, but it's not matching up perfectly. As you can see there by the lines I put on there, I need to Dremel that out. When in doubt, Dremel it out. Yeah, right, that's not going to catch on. So I'm going to do that now so that it swings properly, and see how that goes. Okay, I don't have it glued together yet or anything yet. I have the trigger mechanism in place, so that's where it'll be released. Now, don't worry, it looks ugly as hell right now, but I'm going to dress it up quite a bit. Sort of like putting a bow tie on a pig, if you know what I mean. But I just wanted to make sure that my measurements are correct and that it's working okay. So that's where it'll be released. So far so good. Okay, if you haven't figured it out yet, I haven't a clue what I'm doing. So if you do decide to take on this endeavor and go ahead and build one, well, just keep in mind that I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I did finally get mine together, sort of. But, well, I'm just saying, there's probably easier ways to do it. So let me show you the trigger mechanism. That was the worst part of it. I thought the hardest part was going to be the bow. Actually, that's been pretty easy. It's the trigger mechanism just really sucks, but let me show you. Here it is here, and the bow's going to go up here, and this is a side view with it open. Okay, so there'll be another part covering it. This part will be, you know, covering it here, and that's the problem, is getting everything lined up. I just don't have the proper equipment to do it properly. Probably wouldn't be that bad if you had the proper equipment. So anyway, the bowstring will be on here, pulling it forward, you know, because the pressure will be going that way. So it'll be hooked on here, and you'll have your bolt here, and then here, bolt being arrow, and it'll be here, and then here is the trigger. Get it? Trigger, the horse, remember the trigger? Never mind. And like I told you, it was like, you know, where you pull it like this, so it's going to be like this, and when you pull on the trigger, this little thing goes down, which allows this to spin, and which sends the bowling ball onto the trampoline, which then ignites the fuse on the candle, which burns through the rope, which drops the cage and catches the mouse. It fires. And then to reload it, you push that down, pull this out from the other side. Oh, well, it's hard to do when it's not together, but I'll show you when it's together. And then restring the bow, and you're ready to fire away. So anyway, that is the trigger mechanism. Okay, you still keeping count? As confusing and wacky as it is. That's the way they used to do it. I did a little research, and that's the way they used to do it, but they were apparently far better at it than I am. But I will dress it up a bit, make it look good, sand it down, get it all going, and whether it's functional or not, well, that remains to be seen. A quick run through on what I've done so far. Superman! Get it? The glasses coming off. You know, Superman used to, with the, you get it. So, Walter, tell us, how's everything going? Disastrous. Okay, this is the nasty version of it. Not done yet, of course. Looks nasty, but I still need to sand it and everything. I just screwed it together temporarily. I'm going to take the screws out and glue it together. But I need to, I want to sand it down and then make sure that it's functioning, everything's functioning properly prior to, you know, gluing it, so in case I have to take it apart again. So this way I just screwed it together. Hey Walter, how's that first bow working for you? Okay, well, the first one snapped. Oh well, what are you going to do? So I think it's a combination of it being too short and too thick. So I'm going to thin it down a bit. I think this is just too thin. It's not going to give me enough resistance. So I'm going to go a little thicker than this, a little thinner than this, and make it a little bit longer. That was an inch, or a foot rather. This was a foot, so that it would fit inside the kit. But actually, I think I can go a lot longer because of the curve. It should be able to fit in, or I can put it in an angle. I don't know. But I just want to see if I can get it to work. So, time to make another bow. Okay, another day. Still working on the crossbow. The bow is shaping up nicely, and pun is intended. What I did with this one is I sanded it down so it was a little thinner at the edges, and I cut the overall bow a little thinner. And well, that's about it. Sanded it down so it tapers off to the edges, so it gets a little thin, so it gets a nicer bow. Then I heated up just this section here and bent it by hand. Heated up this section here and bent it by hand to give it a little bit more of a curve. And now I've got the overall pull. It's got a lot more elasticity to it, which is what I need, and working pretty good. I did put it on the crossbow, on the base of the crossbow, and it worked okay. As far as the stock, I was not happy with the blocky look, so I took my shaper and my sander, And I started to shape it up a little bit more. It's hard to tell. I won't be able to tell till I stain it, and I'm still going to do a little bit more. But I curved the bottom of the stock to make it look more natural and more like a pistol. And then I also rounded the edges of the handle, so it's nice and rounded and doesn't look so blocky. Like I said, you won't be able to tell until I stain it, but then you'll be able to see it's got a nice curve to it, and fits a lot more naturally in the hand. Looks a lot better. Not quite done yet. Still going to do some more sanding, round it off a little bit more, but so far so good. Kind of pleased with it. So we'll see how it turns out. Slowly but surely starting to look like a crossbow. Getting there. Right now I'm working on a plate, a wooden plate. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not, to go over this, to dress this up a little bit, because it looks kind of yucky like that. So, yucky. That's a technical term used by a master craftsman. Might put a wooden plate there, decorative a little bit. I don't know. I'm playing with it, seeing how it looks. Okay, I did the top part there, which I think came out pretty good. Looks good. I also stained this again to finish it off. I think it looks pretty good. Of course, I've got really bad eyesight. I also stained the bow. See, I took off the thing and stained it. Now, what I did to attach the bow to the stock, or the prod, I think it's called on a crossbow, but how to attach this to the stock is I drilled a hole through the center and added this, and then I epoxied it in there. So it's epoxied in there. I'm still letting it dry. After it dries, I'm going to sand it so it's nice and smooth, and then this part I'm going to stain. And then in here, drilled a hole that goes down into it. Yeah, I hate to point this out, but that hole doesn't really look, what's the technical word for it? Centered. So, and this is very snug, so you have to actually push this down a little bit to slide it in, so then it locks up against it really, really tight. So it holds it in place. So that way you can fire it, it won't come out, and then you can work it out, which is a little difficult, but you can pull it out and then store it in two pieces so that it fits in the kit a little easier, so you don't have it taking up the entire kit. So anyway, that's it so far. So the next time I show it to you, it'll be all together and done. Oh, thank God. I mean, gee, this is like the vlog that never ends. It just keeps going and going and going. And between me and you, it just ain't all that interesting. Well, we're almost done, thank God. I promise I won't do this to you again. Okay, and it's the next day. I finished lacquering it and all that stuff, and stringing it. And so here is the finished crossbow. Now, wouldn't it have been funny if I accidentally shot my computer with it? I mean, just blew up the screen right there. Almost would have made this vlog worth it. Unfortunately, you're not that lucky. Doesn't look too bad. The bow works pretty good, and let me show you here how it works. There we go. So, works pretty good, pretty cool. Actually wasn't too bad to build, but it was freaking torture to watch. And the coolest part is this can come off with a little struggling. So it can store in a small place, and I like the trigger mechanism. Came out pretty good. Okay, that's it. Finally, the end of the vlog. Sorry about I have no idea what the final trigger mechanism count was. A lot. A whole lot. Well, thank you for watching, and I apologize. It was like a 3-day project, so I had all this footage, and I tried to edit it, and Did it make any sense? I'm betting the way I did it, it didn't even make any sense. Well, if you have any questions, if you're actually foolish enough to want to try to do one of these, and if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to give you any details, although you'd probably do better to just do it on your own. You'd probably get a better crossbow that way. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and remember to subscribe. I promise I won't do another, this long again. That was too long. Alright, I'm shutting up now. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Later, dude. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe.